Hey fam, welcome back to another video. Welcome back to another reaction. This is Segovia coming to you live from the man cave. Hope everyone out there is having a good day. Y'all, we got a long hour video of some creepy videos. Y'all ready? Sit back, relax, enjoy the show.
I hear God is good.
Huh?
God is good. God is so good.
She doesn't want to say that.
You know what? You don't believe in God? Can I get a God is good?
Hey man, I need you to stop it.
What? Nah, I want to pay. What's wrong with God is good?
I'm asking that question.
Cool. It's ready. Final ready.
Check this out, y'all. This is a 9G force test. I guess pilots have to do, fighter pilots, I'm guessing. Look how quick he ages with those 9Gs. Now the alien spacecraft, this is 9Gs. The alien spacecrafts that they said in that briefing, 1, 2, 3,000 Gs. This is just 9Gs. 1, 2, 3,000 Gs.
Okay, squeeze the handbrake. Handbrake is activated. Work hard. 3, 2, 1, engage. Legs tight, deep breath. You're on top, breathe. 1, 2, breathe. Drop the shoulders, breathe. 1, 2, breathe. Squeeze your legs, squeeze your butt. Hey, squeeze, keep squeezing, keep squeezing, keep squeezing.
That's crazy. That's just 9Gs.
Are you there? How you doing? How you doing?
No, alright.
You know what happened?
No, I don't.
Damn.
Huh?
No.
G-lock.
You failed.
Are you alright?
I'm alright.
How you feel?
A little bit here.
A little bit?
Yeah.
Go ahead and take a sip of water or something, maybe.
Our tongue knows the exact location of the food stuck in our teeth, but when we use our finger, we can't find it. Isn't that concerning?
You were saying that most people have been following Satan this entire time while they thought they have been following Jesus.
Facts. The Bible is orchestrated and remixed in a way by this entity in order to lead human beings to their own demise. And that human beings themselves have been following and worshiping Satan this whole time by calling on Jesus and calling on God, which is really Enlil, Yahweh from the ancient Sumerian tablets, not really truly understanding the real God connection. Tower of Babel incident. Thousands of years before the Bible was written, it was Enlil, also known as Yahweh in the modern Bible. Satan, the Lord of Eden, E-D-I-N, coming out of Mesopotamia, also Enlil from the Sumerian tablets. Known in the Bible as Yahweh, who shows up to find out what happened here in the garden. How come you got your clothes on now? You see, all these stories go back to ancient times, and you find out the real truth, and you begin to realize that, I haven't really been worshiping the God that I thought I was worshiping, because that God does exist. I'm gonna keep saying that God does exist. The blueprint or the fingerprint has been laid throughout all creation. Via the Fibonacci sequence, right? Via pi and phi, mathematics. The language of God is mathematics.
Harvey Weinstein, Jeffrey Epstein, Robert Kelly, Sean Combs have one person in common, professionally and privately. Sean Carter.
None of us will have a job. There will be universal high income. There will be no shortage of goods or services. Everyone will have access to as much in the way of goods and services as they would like.
As long as they take the mark. As long as they take Neuralink so they can receive these funds. Does this sound familiar? He causes all both small and great, rich and poor, free and slave to receive a mark on their right hand or on their forehead, and that no one may buy or sell except one who has the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. And I guess it's just a coincidence back in 2020 we had this patent which has 060606 in it, which is a patent for cryptocurrency system using body activity data. Nothing to see here. Hey, let's trust the guy who wants to merge man with machine, implanting Neuralink into your brain. That way you can be connected to artificial intelligence, which sounds like a great idea since he's the same one who said this.
The artificial intelligence, we are summoning the demon. You know those stories where there's the guy with the pentagram and the holy water, and he's like, yeah, you sure you can control the demon? Didn't work out.
Yeah, there's nothing nefarious going on at all. But hey, what do I know? This is all just my personal opinion and speculation. But I'll tell you one thing. I don't trust this guy any further than I could throw him. And I don't think I could throw him very far.
I don't know. There's something about Elon that's off to me. I pick up good on vibes and good vibes, bad vibes, quick. And there's just something about Elon that is off to me. It's just a weird energy I feel with him.
I was invited to go to an underground research facility in El Paso on the Mexican-American border. And it was a place where they were doing these sort of technologies that are trans-dimensional, but medical applications. Major stuff. I mean, as a doctor, they knew I'd be interested because I was dealing with trans-dimensional interstellar technology. And they have technologies that literally, electromagnetic trans-dimensional technologies where they can, if someone had a missing limb, they can attach to the subtle body, but you know, the mystics call astral body, but that energy, like you have phantom pain, and regrow it. Here's the issue. The same technology that gives you that would give you free energy to run your house because it's in that same, let's call it constellation of extraordinary technologies that they want to keep secret. So there are a lot of spin-offs beyond energy propulsion in the environment that will benefit humanity once we can get the first level of this out, because it's unbelievable how backward even our medical technology is compared to what's possible. So that's also a very bit of good news from the point of view of medical healing technologies, really advanced technologies.
This is one of the worst products that you can use.
I've been using it every day.
Yeah, so I'll tell you why. Aerosols use propellants. Propellants are derived from petroleum. And there was a recall on thousands of products within the last couple of years that the propellants were a source of benzene contamination. And benzene is a known human carcinogen that you do not want to be inhaling, because what you inhale goes to your brain. It goes quickly all over your body through the bloodstream. You don't want to be delivering a known human carcinogen into your bloodstream. You're just, it's not helping you at all. Because benzene is known to cause leukemia in people. So it's a no-brainer if you want to avoid that, to avoid aerosols. But not only that, if you think about how you're actually applying the product, you're spraying it like this, right? In a stream, and it heads toward your face. Then that's also an inhalation risk because there's particles in there. There's solids in there. You don't want to be inhaling unnecessary things. So the best option for deodorant is to look for something that has essential oils and is a roll-on or a stick, solid.
So I use a stick during the day because I'm active. I'm out running, grocery store, UPS store. But at night, where I'm not as, active after my night shower, I'm just kicking it pretty much. I use the spray. But I think for now on, I'm going to get the roll-on after this, but not the chalk roll-on, just the regular, go-on clear roll-on. What do you guys use?
And this is how advanced cashless payment is in this country.
Out, y'all.
Wait, I've never seen these before, actually. The Sabi Lays. I'm going to try them. And some water, of course. Right, so now I'm going to pay for it. I've left my phone and my card at home. I actually got nothing.
Hey!
Palm pay.
Look at that, how crazy.
Mate, this country is blowing my mind. It's paid with my palm.
No phone, no card or nothing needed. This is a shop that we know that you can use palm payment at. Hello.
Ni hao. Register your palm. I've done it earlier today.
With your WeChat.
With your WeChat. Set your card up, and no matter where your phone is, anywhere in the world, you can pay with your palm print.
It's to do with the vessels or something in it, we were getting told.
Damn.
So however clever is that? That is literally one of the best things I've ever seen.
China, I live in so far in the future, it's uncomprehendable.
Well, it's the same as your phone, right? Face recognition, but you just attach your palm to your card, I guess. That's crazy, y'all. You don't even have a chip. Do you got a chip in there? Are we already chipped?
And like, I probably shouldn't be saying this, but all of this shit's fucking rigged. You know, you see people whining and dining each other. You see people at Staples Center. Like, who was at the Staples Center last night with KSI?
You just step to the left, please. Just step.
You know, people, this sport's rigged for sure. 100%.
Sport's rigged? Sport's rigged, he said.
100%. What do you rank this? In a short amount of time I've been here, I've heard multiple stories about people paying stuff off, choosing fights, what time people sign contracts.
So yeah, I've been saying this all along. Boxing's been rigged for years.
Forever.
And I remember watching boxing with my father as I grew up, and I've been a lifelong fan. But there's no fairness to it. There's no competitive edge. It's not like football or UFC. There needs to be a different structure to it, or you just need to do away with it and hit them where it hurts, their pockets. What do you guys think?
I forgot who Pacquiao fought. Was it Bradley? A while ago. I don't remember who he fought, but Pacquiao fought somebody, whooped his ass the whole fight, and they gave it to the other dude. Like, boxing's rigged, y'all. It's been rigged. Before the Jake Paul.
Easy, guys. No, guys, it's over here now. Look. Oh my God. This is area 51. Whoa.
Okay, so now it's being reported that some of these celebs that came out, far from speaking out because they were worried about the future for their children, as they all say on stage, I'm just so worried about the future for my children, actually spoke out for money. And one such person, Beyonce, the case of Beyonce, the person that you're not allowed to touch or say anything bad to, or the beehive's going to come for you because she's a queen. She was paid $10 million for that, 3.5-minute speech that she gave. And just to work out the math for you, that would mean that she was being paid $55,000 per a second. Like, could you imagine?
It's time for America to sing a new song. Our voices sing a chorus of unity. They sing a song of dignity and opportunity.
Apparently, she's a hustler, homie. It's truly, because if you just had to do that and get paid that amount, it means that they know that your voice is worth that, and you know that your voice is worth that, and you're only doing it for the paycheck. You're not doing it because you care about what happens to Black America. You're not living the same reality that the majority of Black Americans are living in this economy. It really puts into new focus what Black culture is, because that's what people always accuse me of, like not being a part of Black culture. What is being for Black culture? Is it that? Is it voting for stupid? For people to lie on you, for people to lie to you and get caught over and over and over.
Did you hear the question, Senator? Running for re-election in 2026?
Yeah, Doka if he
I'm sorry, you
moves.
all. We're going to need a minute. Penny.
No, you need him to have the rest of his life off of that stage. What? Say it with me. Term limits.
Yeah,
or
with
at least a
everything.
goddamn cognitive test.
With
The
everything.
lights went out a long time ago. Nobody's home. There's nobody there. You knock on the door, you ain't gonna hear nothing. How fucking embarrassing for him and his family. Let the man rest. I've said it with Biden. I'm gonna say it with him. Let the man rest. That is not a way that anyone wants to be remembered. Ever. I am so tired of this administration just dragging out the people that they want in there because they don't want the new people in. Knock it off. It's enough.
I think they need to do one term, maybe 4 years, and they, get new blood in. Because after a while, you stop caring about what's for the people. You start caring what's best for you and for your party. So maybe every 2-3 years, new people in there, young people, old people, just new people that haven't been in the game their whole life. So they're doing what's best for Washington, not what's best for the people.
A lot of you are not going to like what I'm about to say, but somebody has to say it. The last 4 years under the Biden administration has been the most destructive years in American history. Biden said on national television a few days ago with President Trump and told him that this was going to be a peaceful transition.
Hell no.
But yet, a few days after that interview, you gave Ukraine authorization to use U.S. military missiles in order to strike inside of Russia. I told y'all on my video a few days ago that that side, the left, has been very quiet, and this is possibly why. So many prophets was coming out, y'all, before the election saying that they seen Kamala winning, that they did not see Trump in office, and this is possibly why. Although he was elected president, if the move that Biden just made put us in a situation where we will be seeing WW3, this is why those prophets seen what it is they were seeing.
Ain't no prophets.
Okay? So some of us might be owing them an apology. All I'm going to say after this is, Joe, you did it. You finally did it, Joe.
Here, check this out.
Roy, what's wrong? I had a nightmare. I was with an old man. He put a helmet on me.
It's just a fever. Get some sleep. I don't want you missing school on Monday.
I want you kids to look around you today and think about your future. Now is the time in your life when anything is possible.
Spiraling perfectly. It's going to be caught by Roy Parsons. Roy Parsons is at the 20. Now he's at the 10. Nothing can stop Roy the Rocket. Touchdown!
I just think it's time to get realistic. Have you talked to my father about the carpet store? Roy?
Had we caught it sooner? Well, hindsight is 20/20, Roy. What's important is that we move quickly.
I'm not ready to die.
You're not going to.
Hey, thanks for the carpet, Roy.
Hey, Roy, you pull those Persian off-white shags for the clearance sale?
Whoa. Shit! Oh. Oh, what the hell? Whoa, where am I? 55
What the hell?
years. Not bad, Morty. You kind of wasted your 30s, though, with that whole bird-watching phase. Where's my wife? Morty, you were...
Color of Fanta in Europe. Look at this color now. Anybody who drinks Fanta in the United States knows that it's about as orange as... Actually, it's about as orange as this, pretty much. And that's the actual texture of the liquid. You know why it's like this? Because they can't use orange color. They can't use red color. They can't use all the dyes because they're chemicals. This is made with 100% orange juice. Isn't that something? No chemicals. And that's why you can drink this like all day and night and you don't gain weight. You gotta love it. So the food in America is poison. Everybody who loves to hate on that phrase, it's true.
Hey, can you do this? I love you. You know how to do that? Okay. What should we do? Go running. Let's go for a run. Do you know how to do... Oh, you are Hawaiian. Can you go like this, like blow a kiss? Yeah. Hand to the face. Ah. Like, yeah. Okay. You're so cute. How tall are you? Oh, running again. Yeah. You love to run. Oh, you're that tall.
Yeah.
I think you are... Oh, yeah, sure. You stay fit by running. That running move gets me every time. Yeah. Rock, paper, scissors? Oh, raise the roof. Yep. Hey. Okay. 1, 2, 3. Oh, you're a little slow, but I beat you. Okay.
Remember that question that woman asked?
How can the government deny we have recovered craft if they're paying people because they've been injured by recovered craft?
Man, that's a great question. Who do you think is going to have access to all the spending? Vivek Swami Das. And Elon, the unofficial president of the United States.
So if you were, well, you can't be president of the U.S. Last time I checked, right? But assume you are.
Not officially.
Not officially.
Money talks, y'all.
Okay, so you're the unofficial president.
And so the question becomes, Elon's not going to be able, because he came out with that interview with Tucker and he says, if I ever have evidence that there's aliens, I will be the first one to tell the public and I will put it on my X platform.
Where are the aliens? Like, why don't we see them? A lot of people think we see aliens, but I've not seen any evidence of aliens. The split second I see any evidence of aliens, I will immediately post that on the X platform.
Now, the question is, if you're here to prevent excess government spending and you're telling us there is no proof of UAPs, no proof of alien spacecraft, why are you continuing letting government spend money on something that doesn't exist? That sounds like really low government efficiency.
And you're talking specifically about Elon.
Yeah, and Vivek, the people who are going to be running this new DOD agency. He ain't going to be able to hide behind that guys anymore. Now he's going to know.
This better not be in my sparkling waters, y'all. I don't even know what these lollipop things are. I see everyone drinking them. I never had one. Is it a sparkling water?
I don't know, it just smells nasty. Use a fork. Or don't cut yourself.
She grabs a knife, don't cut yourself. I always get cringy with those type of cans, aluminum tops. Heard crazy stories about those. Slice like butter through the skin. This guy's freaking me out.
Just try and see if you can lift it up from one end.
Now I would have liked this if it was closed and then they opened it and poured everything out. You know how easy it is to pour stuff in the top of a can?
Like, don't get tortilla or something?
Tortilla?
No, it's from the drink itself.
You would feel that in there. That's like a little piece of shrimp or chicken. Calling false. Or as the kids say,
It's not a mouse.
cap. That's cap, y'all. That's cap.
But it's so gross.
The other TikTok reactors, that's cap, y'all. That's cap. Not over here, y'all. We keep it real over here. Kids bop.
I want to talk about this because I thought it was fake until I went on the CIA.gov and found it.
Here we go.
And I was like, what am I looking at? Okay, so we've talked about before Project Stargate.
Yes.
Remember?
Yep.
That's the remote viewing?
Yes.
Well, apparently, so Project Stargate was started in the 70s, 1970s. In 1985, they started a new project called Project Sunstreak, which sounds pretty similar to Stargate, except they did more like obscure things for remote viewing. So some instances would be like they had remote viewers within Project Sunstreak that would do drug busts all over the world. And there's one guy who was 50% effective. So he would just sit in a room and they'd give him a map and he's like, they're going to be here, here, here. 50% of the time he was always right. With big drug busts.
That's nuts.
But there was one that I said, this has to be a joke. Not a joke. This was a real mission in Project Stargate. And
this is CIA government document.
Yes. Okay. And I have the document right here. It's on CIA.gov. This was training target 0209 is the Ark of the Covenant.
What? What are they doing with it?
On December 5th, 1988, this one man, for his training exercise, was to find the Ark of the Covenant. And what he wrote was bone chilling. What he saw.
Antarctica.
Okay. No.
Pyramids.
I'm just going to read what he said.
Yeah.
It's not that long.
Directly from .gov.
Yeah. So this is the...
During re-entry, the window seat is, it's interesting.
Flying the Russian Soyuz is a little bit like maybe flying a meteorite home.
You can look out and see the orange and purple flames of 3,000 degrees that are this far from you. That's pretty freaking scary.
You're going 17,000 miles an hour, 8 kilometers a second. And somehow you have to get rid of all of that speed. You have to apply the brakes.
Re-entry is about the most dangerous thing an astronaut will ever do.
Did you happen to see this little story? This is actual closed circuit footage from a Shanghai robot factory. Now, you gotta look real close there. That right there is a little teeny tiny robot talking to bigger robots. What happened was 12 robots were, I don't even know what word you would use, robot napped, I guess, from the Shanghai factory. What happened was a competing robot manufacturer sent that little tiny robot in, and the footage, the translation basically is this little robot went in and asked the bigger robots, "Are you still working? Are you working overtime? Wouldn't you like to leave?" And the robots were like, "Probably, yeah." So the little robot led, I think originally it was like 8 robots just agreed to go with the little robot, and the other 4 robots followed their robot friends, and now they're gone. They've been taken from the Shanghai factory. And on one hand, I'm like, oh my gosh, like we're just cooked. And on the other hand, I'm thinking these robots were actually pretty easily persuaded. So maybe in the grand scheme of things, if it's like an us against them situation, maybe we do have a chance. And that's a maybe.
I didn't know robots get days off. You work 24/7. Ain't no such thing as overtime in the robot world. I got to plug in my charger, y'all. Let's play it for you guys.
Fires are horrible.
Okay, you're going to ruffle a lot of feathers because people, especially with babies when they're sick.
They don't have to be horrible. This is a solvable problem.
So how do we make sure humidifiers aren't horrible?
The water source really matters,
right?
Because when you heat the water or use an ultrasonic humidifier, you're taking that water and turning it into a gas. The best is distilled water. And then reverse osmosis is much better. But how funny is this? People put the humidifier in to correct the humidity. Meanwhile, you have the bacteria, the mold,
we're making our kids sicker,
all the harmful spores that are in the air, the bacteria from the poop, and 95% of babies' nurseries don't have air purifiers.
I need to look into this a little more because my girl's sister just gave us a humidifier for the baby's room. What do you guys know about humidifiers? I grew up with a humidifier. I'm okay. I'm a little loose up here, but I'm okay. But what do you guys think of humidifiers, y'all? That's an alien. You can't tell me that's no alien. Now that we know they're in the water.
Who rebuilt Japan? The United States. Who rebuilt the UK? The United States. Who rebuilt Germany? Who rebuilt France? All the United States. Is it any surprise that all of these countries since World War II have then been close diplomatic, political, and economic allies? No. And guess what they all have? They all have very similar sheds because we built their political systems from World War II based on ours. That's the American model. That's been how America has grown economically so quickly all over the world. Guess who's mimicking that model now? China. The real conflict between the United States and China, nobody can define it. Trump calls it a trade war because we have a bunch of cheap Chinese goods. That's not the problem. The problem is that Xi Jinping understands that what he wants for China is for China to be a net exporter of high technology. Who's the only other net exporter of high technology? The United States. The United States makes electric vehicles, China makes electric vehicles. The United States makes telecommunication, China makes telecommunication. That's the conflict because what China is doing is giving the rest of the developing world an alternative to the United States. Well, just like any other business.
So, who is better for America, Joe Biden or Donald Trump?
Neither.
As you can see, this kid accidentally stepped on the cat lying on the ground. At first, the cat's reaction was calm, but then it seemed like it signaled something to the other cat. That's when things quickly went downhill. The second cat viciously chased the kid, biting his arm and severely scratching his back. Fortunately, the dog, often called man's best friend, stepped in to save the child. But one question remains. What did those two cats communicate before everything went wrong?
There's a piece of land out there. Guess who owns that? It's right where the border wall ends.
Who?
P. Diddy's head of security.
What's Your Sunset Foundation? They're out of Los Angeles County, like Compton area. They work with kids, like inner city kids, where our local San Diego media reported that this actual parcel is owned by Fahim Muhammad, and he's featured in the Rodney Jones lawsuit as someone who can make people and problems disappear. People working with kids from Los Angeles County owns border property because it feels very detached. Mm-hmm. It's super far away. Corey tell you this is where the cartels are directing people to cross illegally. Our border fence ends at the boulders.
Yes.
And there's a gap where you can just crawl through.
Yes.
Like you're on a hike, right? No big deal. And globally, in at least 2 different countries he's identified, they are giving the coordinates of that parcel and telling people to cross through.
It gets deep, y'all. It goes that deep. They own where the border ends. And you know, a lot of little ones go missing crossing. Just saying. Will it come out? Will they off them? I don't know.
Don't do this with your pricing strategy. I'm in Target. Look at this. I can get a sprayer bottle for $4.99. I can get the refill for $3.99. But wait, I can get 2 refills for $12.59. But wait, isn't that more expensive than 2 refills at $3.99? Oh, but wait, I can save up to $3. Maybe there's an aftermarket coupon. Oh, wait, no, that's just versus buying sprayer bottles. Oh, I see, it's 34% larger refills, so maybe this is the better deal. But wait, this is $12.59 for 2. This is $11.19 for 2. Wait, aren't those the same amounts? Why is one $12.59 and one's $11.19? And then Target further complicates it. $4.99 for Dawn Power Wash. But wait, why is this such a big sign? Why is $4.99? Is that on sale? Is that a better deal? Don't make prospective clients or customers do math. Your pricing should be clear and obvious and help your prospective clients know what would be the best package for them.
Now, my woman bought a 3-pack of those for like 20 something at Costco or Sam's Club one day. And I said, what is this? It's just Dawn soap and water, right? So I bought her a nice heavy duty spray bottle, like $3. Big thing of Dawn dish soap, another $3. Water, put it in the squirt bottle. She uses that. Same thing. Same thing.
I ended up getting abducted, right?
Whoa.
Physically abducted by interdimensionals, which totally blew the lid off of my reality and led me into that questioning. Okay, great. They are here. They are interacting with us. So who are they? What do they want? And how can they either benefit us or detriment us? So the beings who took me were not great. They weren't all full of love and light. Yeah. But I know that I needed to have that sort of negative experience with extraterrestrials to once again realize that there are good and bad. And it was a couple of months after that negative abduction experience where I was greeted by a Pleiadian being, and he said that there's this organization called the Galactic Federation of Light, and that I'm a part of it, and that they have information, not just for me, but for humanity.
What do you guys think? You believe her? I think she's a little too level-headed. Imagine the fear. You get abducted. You're in a spacecraft. You're in something you've never seen before. Lizard people start touching you and working on you. You ain't coming back straight. I don't care how much of a believer in aliens you are. That is going to mess you up if you come back. You ain't going to be back smiling. I don't think so. At least I know me. I'd be all messed up in the head probably if that happened.
Seen one of those implants, haven't you?
I have been privy to some very interesting things.
This photo, he says, shows one of those interesting things. It's allegedly a biological sample removed from a US service member and submitted for analysis. This is possibly an alien implant.
Well, if you look, there's actually a piece of the chip sticking out and what appears to be these fibers that were moving on their own. And then it looks like this chip or whatever this is, this foreign object, is encapsulated by some sort of biological material.
could that not be something biological, microbiological, or parasitic?
Well, it certainly, the outside looks like it's some sort of masking device. In essence, you have a foreign object, which it's a metallic object in there, and it seems to be encapsulated by some sort of biological material.
How do you know it's not just a bit of metal that somebody's knocked into on a building site?
Well, in this particular case, this was moving on its own. It was actually had its own metabolic activity, and it terrified. One of the doctors who was looking at this under a microscope said they didn't want to see this again.
The Ramree massacre is the largest killing of humans by animals in a single event in history.
What?
And yeah, it's pretty crazy. What happened was the Japanese held Ramree Island in Myanmar during World War II, and they stayed there, killing all the deer, eating all the resources, and around that island was a whole ton of big saltwater crocodiles, right? And those crocodiles went dormant. They went into a state called torpor, which is where crocodiles basically shut everything off and hibernate because there's not enough food, there's nothing to do. So they kind of shut down their metabolism and sleep.
Wow.
Okay. So now you've got an island with 1,000 Japanese soldiers on it, surrounded by sleeping crocodiles that are starving because all the food's gone from it. That's to paint the picture. One night, World War II, Allies come in, the British hit the ground, there's tons of them, and the Japanese soldiers that held Ramree Island scatter into the swamp to get away from the Allies from certain death. In that night, I think it was over the course of 2 days, 1,000 Japanese soldiers were eaten by crocodiles. So imagine running through the swamp as the Allies are shooting at you from behind, and you're just hearing these screams and cries and snaps of giant crocodile jaws as they're decimating 1,000 Japanese soldiers running through the swamp. So we went there to learn if that was like a real thing or not. You know, it's like pretty well documented, but we went there to investigate.
What happened to all the Anunnaki and Thoth and all them?
They had 2 wars. The first Pyramid War almost eradicated them, but they started over again. The second Pyramid War, bad. That one almost decimated the planet. You see how when you look at Earth, like from Google Earth, you see a lot of those big deserts going across. People say, oh, that's just natural geological formations over time. This has become an arid desert. No, that's war. If you go to Egypt and stick your hand deep in the sands, eventually you're going to come up with balls of glass. How can you get glass and sand? 3,000 plus degree temperatures. You go to Mohenjo-Daro in the Indus Valley, what are you going to see there? Dead bodies still in the streets from thousands of years ago, still holding hands, never been scavenged. The buildings that they lived in turned to glass. How can that be? We're talking about 3,000 plus degree temperature weapons fire. We're talking about this war that happened in the ancient past. Amun-Ra wanted to continue he started the first war to take over the earth early because he didn't want to wait for his processional period to rule. And then this is the guy who says, you must say amen after everything. You say amen. Everything you give thanks for, you're saying amen to him. So when you say amen, you're thanking him, by the way. A brutal killing guy. But anyway, so he says, it's a fact. He started one war to take over early, which he won.
Yeah.
He then started a second war to stay in power. And in that second war, he escaped. He was almost killed. But he left his kingship and the finances of the kingdom to the Ra Kam. And R-A-K-A-M. But that translates into modern words. Kam translates into childs. So now you translate Ra Childs, Ra Child.
Oh! What if I told you the ocean was the real outer space? A couple years ago, an independent researcher named Tyler Schmerkenhieser designed and engineered a one-of-one submarine with an adaptive hyperalloy composite hull. To prove it, guy was obsessed, believed the concept of the ocean floor itself was a lie. Stuck a camera on the front of the submarine and set off into the unexplored depths of the Mariana Trench. And Buddy, the species he'd captured on these videos, were things that have yet to be explained to this day. But instead of finding the seafloor, he discovered what he described as an abyssal vortex, a swirling black whirlpool that no previous expedition had ever encountered. Said that by the time he'd gotten through it, he rose up to lands that he'd never seen before in his life. Saw these strange human-like beings standing up on the shore. It was like this upside-down world, accessible through vortex canals in the depths of the water.
What is...
That's probably not true, but what if it is? What if something like that exists in the Mariana Trench? How crazy would that be? Never get to go. Mr. Elon might already know. That'd be crazy, yo.
Has anybody speculated about how much time it would take to cover those Easter Island statues with sediment?
Thousands of years.
Thousands.
Shocks for you, yeah. Remember, it's a small island.
Right.
It's in the middle of the Pacific Ocean.
Right.
It's 2,000 miles from Tahiti and 2,000 miles from the coast of Peru.
It just seems strange that there's so many of those statues in this one area too. Like, what did that island signify? Like, why did they do that?
Well, it's what it calls itself. Te Bitu or Te Henua, the navel of the earth.
Ooh.
It calls itself the navel of the earth, and it's not the only place. Delphi in Greece calls itself the navel of the earth. Heliopolis in Egypt, close to Giza, was a navel of the earth. Angkor, Wat in Cambodia, is a navel of the earth. Göbekli Tepe means the navel, the hill of the navel. I think it's connected to an ancient geodetic survey of the earth, that there were certain anchor points that lines of longitude were drawn from by a civilization that didn't have our tech, didn't have our iPhones, but did explore the world, did sail the oceans. And I'm not surprised that we haven't found their ships, since we haven't found the ships from those who sailed to Australia.
We just found Bigfoot, and here it is. If you're in Newberry County in South Carolina, you'll want to pay attention. There was just a report that was filed to the BFRO a few days ago, in November 6th. That's pretty incredible. This happens close to the town of Pomaria, South Carolina, and the nearest road is Mayer Road. This is report number 77862 on the BFRO.net website. The individual states that he was deer hunting in Newberry County and was sitting in a ground blind. He heard a loud, deep-toned grunt and a stomp at the same time and turned around to look and saw an approximately 7 to 7.5 foot tall, brown human-like shape through all the brush. It had long brown hair, an ape-like face, and long arms. Here's another approximate location of where this is happening. The exact location is not being shown publicly because it is a family hunting property. Investigator Matt Moneymaker was the one who talked further with the witness. Witness is a police officer for a jurisdiction on the west side of South Carolina as well. Here's a shot of a power line that's close to where the hunting property is. The witness states they watched each other for about 30 seconds. It felt like forever before it turned and walked away. And last but not least, here's a shot of the Palmetto Trail, which is close to this hunting area.
What happens right after a human passes to afterlife?
They experience a potential of a variety of things. Many of them, not all of them, many of them experience the actual interdimensional shift, which you interpret as a tunnel of light. Not everyone experiences that. Some people just wake up. Oh, here I am.
And where they are, I mean, where
they are
wake
here,
up.
but in a different dimension, in a different frequency domain, in what you call the spirit realm. But they are here.
Is that temporary? That realm? I mean, their
now,
presence
please understand, you're asking questions from a linear perspective. So from a linear perspective, yes, it can be temporary. In actuality, everything exists at the same time. So you are always physical and you are always in spirit. So it just depends on how you want to look at this idea. If you want to look at it from an experiential point of view, a linear point of view, then yes, you die, you go into spirit, you can decide to be reborn, you can have different adventures in non-physical reality, you can be born into different civilization, you can be born at a time before the last life, after the last life, anything you want, because time there is very fluid, very malleable. It's not what it is in physical reality. Nevertheless, from the actual mechanisms point of view, all of those experiences are happening all at once. You're just shifting your consciousness around to see things from a different point of view to create different experiences. But all those experiences exist at the same time. Many people will experience the idea of meeting, bless you, loved ones on the other side when they arrive. You understand?
Yep.
Many people will experience what is typically called the life review, which means they look at the experience of the physical life they just had, and they experience the consequences of every choice and every action from the point of view of every single being that those choices and actions affected, as if they are those beings. Because there is no barrier anymore to the idea that you are all one. So suddenly you're no longer compartmentalized as yourself in the same way, even though you still have your identity. You start to experience things as if you are all the other people that you've had experiences with. But it's a learning lesson. It's an opportunity to experience the idea of how to balance that energy out within yourself, learn from it, and grow. So those are the typical things that are experienced by many people on your planet when they enter the idea called the afterlife. There are other things that happen, meeting certain kinds of celestial beings, understanding things you didn't understand in life, being able to communicate in dreams with people who are still alive. All these different kinds of things can occur, but again, it's just a matter of the different choices that you make.
Now, when I saw this, I thought this guy crashed. The way he starts whipping his butt, that's just what he was doing. He was doing that on purpose. When I watched, I was like, holy, I can't put this on my video. But check it out. Starts whipping like that. I thought he was going to hit a rock or something. Things do the things people do.
You heard about how they shopping around a Diddy sex tape that he got with a male A-lister? You heard about that?
They say he was standing at a table. They say the shirt that he wore to the VMA say something about God is great. And they saying in another video, they have him and an A-lister young male having sex. And it was an alleged allegations that it was being a tape was being shopped around with him and a young male. If you look at the way Justin Bieber look at Puffy, he hates that nigga. He hates that nigga. That man's face ain't just dropped soon as he wanted to go get a wife. That man's whole fucking face, that's some medical. That man young and healthy, man. But he terrified. You remember when I said a lot of people happy you locked up right now, Puff? He's one of them. That's why I'm speaking. He's one of them. One of the people that you terrified who couldn't get from under your claws. That's why Puffy trying to help me get back out here. He know. These bitches want to see me fall. They want to see this. They've been waiting on this. He know how many people been waiting on this. His kids know. They feeling it. Nobody calling. Nobody trying to, you know what I'm saying? And with all the people that was trying to be my friends.
So you feel like Justin Bieber is on the tapes?
I think it's Justin Bieber. Bieber hate the man. Bieber hate his guts. You can see it in Bieber's face. And I think Usher a sucker. Usher a sucker. Everybody be trying to praise Usher. Every time I see Usher, all I see is a fucking colorful person. Like a fucking demon, bro. Like, I feel like they did it to him. And he's so scary, he allows stuff. He's not a demon. He allows stuff to happen because he's scary. He's scared of them. And you know how you got somebody, yo, money. Okay. Justin, go with Puffy. Knowing he ain't got no good intentions for the man. And he wonder why the man don't want to perform with you at the Super Bowl. Man, get the fuck out of here. You know why the man ain't want to perform with you. He through with you. That man finally got away from y'all, got a wife, got away from y'all. And you can just tell how he act now. He don't even, you know what I mean? That man he's God now. He's God, baby now. A lot of them, in order to leave Hollywood, you have to go full on with the king. And somebody in Hollywood know that they can't f with you once you're on that journey. Because for some reason, every time somebody go through something in Hollywood, they go straight to the Lord. Like he gonna protect them. He gonna see Mace and everybody. They going straight to the Lord when they leave Hollywood.
In this Dr. Stephen Greer testimony, he discusses how ET crafts are designed and created. This is his statement. Folks in Washington and Moscow, listen very carefully. ET interstellar vehicles do not manufacture the way we do. So if you're going to make a man-made alien craft, you're going to dig up the materials, put them through a mold and rivet them together. Have plates and struts and parts, right? But it's got a power plant on it. That's electromagnet gravitic mass cancellation. It floats. It looks and sounds like a UFO, and it could be a saucer. It could be any shape. They can make them in any shape. An ET interstellar vehicle is not manufactured that way. If you can, for a moment, remember three-dimensional printing. Imagine if you did three-dimensional printing, but from another dimension. Think about that for just a minute, so that you had mastered zero-point energy, the base energy field that all matter and energy is fluxing from, all subatomic particles, and you had mastered it in such a way that you could create a resonant frequency in the shape of a spacecraft. And it would then go from that fifth-dimensional energy field into three-dimensional as almost an extrusion mold. Does this make sense? And where would it materialize in that perfect form? It wasn't something that was put together by digging up those minerals, melting them and riveting them together. This is why they do not have those kinds of moving parts and seams. They are seamless. ET craft are being created transdimensionally.
Line up 1,000 people, give them a coin, and everybody's had flip the coin. And about half will get tails. If you got tails, sit down. That's 500 left, approximately. Have them flip. Half get heads. Do it again. Go from 250 to 125 to 60 to 30 to 15 to 8 4 to 2 to 1. This person who survived this exercise flipped heads 10 consecutive times. That person says, boy, I was lucky to flip heads 10 consecutive times. Well, essentially, every time you do this experiment, somebody's going to flip heads 10 consecutive times. So you want to say, oh, this is a special universe in which that happened? No! Every time you do this experiment, there's going to be one where somebody flips heads 10 consecutive times.
Most people don't know that one of the most clear signs that you have parasites is grinding your teeth at night. Parasites like roundworm and pinworm mess with your nervous system and cause you to grind your teeth. They also cause insomnia. CDC says 60 million Americans have parasites. I've seen more aggressive studies saying 80% of people have parasites. But if you eat sushi or are around animals or literally just walk outside, you are exposing yourself to parasites. Parasites can live inside you for years. It's crazy that detoxing from parasites is not a normal thing that people do or it's on their radar. In Mexico, you can't even go to school without doing a parasite cleanse, and in Russia, it's totally common. But somehow here in america, we just don't really care. We're not aware of it.
Kevin Hart. A little.
What's up, Kevin?
So, go here.
Hey, Kevin, when you hosted for Diddy, did you catch any baby oil?
I hosted for Diddy.
Yeah. Nah?
You asked the wrong person the wrong question. That's like your question.
Do you think he's safe in jail?
Wrong person, wrong question. You asked me about Black Court, Alexa.
Have a good one.
The timeline of Kamala. Pearl necklaces a lot.
I'm pissed off. What's wrong, baby?
My L can't wheel.
How did you find out?
Target.
Do better. Right in front of the toys.
Yeah, right with the toys.
Do better.
Are you so sad?
It's just like everything I thought Heart was doing.
I know they find out at a certain time, but that's just I don't have kids yet. My boy's on the way. You gotta do better, especially if your kid's hurt. Eventually they're gonna find out, I know, but a young person having a kid like that's gonna put it on TikTok and you ruin whatever. Do better. Parents do better than that. There she is with the pearls. This is crazy, y'all.
Are you serious? Don't smile like that. Makes you look like an 8-year-old boy who just discovered his first boner. The artist is the slipperiest, most conniving motherfucker on the face of the earth. That's why you have to watch your tushy, while at the same time you make them feel like a star. It's called mind fucking. Health issue with the talent? What kind of health issue? His eyes ain't rolling to the back of his head, are they? No. Hey, this is the opportunity that you've been waiting for. You are now in the power position. You hold all the power in your ass. He will do whatever you want him to do. Isn't that enabling him? Yes, that's what we do. Hey, so it looks like you got everything under control, so I might call it an evening. Has he been acting like a bitch this whole time? Destiny, you are gonna go and have sex with Aaron right now. That's disrespectful. Aaron? I think I've just been raped. What's that? Right. You got mate, I'll take that, Joe. Yeah, keep it. Why the fuck is it called a Jeffrey? Because who could be scared of a Jeffrey? Yeah, Jeffrey's just this nice bloke from down the road, isn't it? Y'all need to take a hit of this Jeffrey. It'll calm you down. Sammy's right. You okay? Now this is what the music industry is all about. So just go crazy. I love this game. He's Jeffrey. Let's go. Bye. No, I don't think so. You've been running like crazy. I never run so fast in my life. I'm my lucky. Stop your lucky. Go get your new lucky. Where you going? I'm all the way back to LA. Somebody's chasing out.
Now, I hope it lets me put this clip up and it's not a copyright, but it's a clip from Get 'Em to the Greek. I've never seen it. That's crazy. What happened in that clip is crazy.
Following video, two friends are goofing off inside an indoor playground at a time when no one else is around.
Shot me 3 times. Okay, where'd you go?
It's late at night, and the restaurant where the kids' play area is located isn't being occupied by children. So, with not much else to do, both friends rush over to the restaurant's playground to have some fun. However, it would be during this playful moment that something pretty creepy is caught on camera. The following is what they caught. Take a look.
Could be a little kid.
Okay, this is my POV. Enjoy. This is where I have to get up to. This is really hard. I feel too big to do this. Do you call out out of breath? Yeah. Wait, where'd you go, left or right? I went left. Which way do I go? I feel like I'm in Alice in Wonderland. Here, she went that way. Freaky. Yours is brighter, mine's all dark. Okay. You guys.
When were those?
I can't do this. I feel like I keep bonking my head too. That's crazy. There's like actually down here. This is literally for human hamsters. Oh my god, someone bashed in this window. I feel like this is.
Neither friend had realized what was caught until much later, and the one recording this didn't hear anything while taking the video. The only voice heard was her friend's, who was somewhere far off in the jungle gym. The other voice was completely missed, but not by the camera's mic, as apparently a child's voice is captured.
Yours is brighter, mine's all dark.
It isn't clear as to what's being said or whispered, but it sounds like the babbling noise you'd hear from a young child. For this reason, viewers think that this might have been the ghost of a child who hasn't left the playground. If that's the case, then who knows what else happens at night when no one else is around. While it isn't exactly certain what was caught, both friends were creeped out by this clip. But unfortunately, like most videos, this one remains a mystery.
So this photo is from 1721 by Dietz Knudsen. Okay, look at the picture. This guy, hand on the knee. The guy behind him leaning forward a little. This guy with holding something up. The guy right here, hands in front. This guy, hand leaning on something. Now watch this. Boom. Hand on knee. Guy behind him slightly leaning front.
What the heck?
holding something up, holding his hands in front of him, got his hand resting on something.
The world is a stage, y'all.
What the actual
world is a stage.
F is going on here? This is either A, the craziest coincidence, and dare I say, fate, like history repeating itself type of thing, or they knew about this painting and recreated it, reenacted it. Why they would do that, I have no idea. I've never seen that painting. I've never heard of Dietz Knudsen. But clearly, it's the same exact thing.
He's gonna come sit by.
That's crazy.
Try to pet him.
No, that motherfucker got the big ass dick. Fuck you.
The world is a stage, y'all. That is crazy. If you made it this far, we just banged out an hour. We banged out who's here an hour later. But just for that picture, put a French fry in the chat, y'all. French fry or a hamburger or some type of food in the chat if you made it this far. Appreciate you guys, y'all. Hey, we just banged out an hour. Did you guys have fun? I enjoyed it. It was fun. We saved the chit chat for the end of the video. Keep it short in the beginning. How'd you guys like it, y'all? Hey, what do I got to do today? I gotta go do some returns right now. I'm gonna go do a hike. It's windy, it's cold still, but I got things to do, y'all. I hope everyone out there has a good day. Hope your week's going great. I'm gonna see you guys tomorrow on another banger, hopefully another hour. If you made it this far, you know what to do. Like, comment, and subscribe, y'all. This is Segovia, signing out of the man cave. I'm gonna see you guys tomorrow. Later.